There we go. All right. No idea what's going on. It's light stream because my Twitch stream did not end. Hold on. What the hell is that? All right, guys, we're getting it back up and running here. Give me one. Okay, Tony. So that's perfect information. Thank you. I'm on both, bro. I'm on YouTube and Twitch. I'm simultaneously streaming. But the Twitch stream was unaffected. The Twitch stream was still going, but the YouTube one stopped. So that would make me believe that it was it's Lightstream that's having the issues. So that's a perfect find then, Tony, that I didn't even test because we only tested in practice. That's great information then. 6 points. That we now have is you adjust that and it affects the CPU play calling. Oh, I don't like that play either. See if Lightstream wants to hold up its end of the deal.
Power football with the run. Good job running tough and behind his pads as he gets up to the 38-yard line. After the strong run on second down, third down coming. Do they do it again?
Yeah. Have to. Oh, what a great blitz. Hard. It's 4th and 14. I mean, oh, I did not even see that. I was looking and I even had somebody open. Okay.
On 4th down, they're taking to the air.
Nothing. And I had the weird glitches. Does this ever happen to you guys too? You move your quarterback and he won't move. Like I was moving him and he just was frozen. Like it's happened to me every now and then. I don't know if it's a controller thing or if it happens to you guys too. But like I was dropping back and right here I'm trying to move to my left. I guess he did start to go finally. It was delayed. But definitely getting my ass kicked this game. You know, 3 interceptions isn't gonna do me any favors, especially with a pick 6. But you look at the difference in the score, and it's all. Ooh, getting ran. Probably not going to play much rest of this one.
They extend the lead here in the 4th, and after about to push their record to 3-1.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. Here in the 4th quarter, they are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
But I feel like the sliders are in a pretty good spot. I mean, there's really not much to change, right? You're 100% right. Should lose when you throw three picks, especially when one of them gets returned. You know, we moved the ball. We missed out on that field goal opportunity at the end of the half. We had another one. We were down there and threw an interception. But we couldn't run the ball very well against this team. And we couldn't get any RPOs. They were jumping all that underneath stuff like crazy. Like, we couldn't get our RPOs, our wide receiver blitzes, our screens. We didn't get anything that popped off for 10, 15, even 20 yards.
You got to come back out here, take the field. It's a fresh set of downs, brand new drive. Let's go out and execute what's
nowhere close on that one as he got drilled.
Haven't seen much wear and tear pop up.
Now they face 3rd down. On the run, it's Keene. Throws to the
Threw it too far. We got it. Let's at least try to score to, you know, morale support.
He's looking to throw it. And here's a fumble way behind the line. And the defense got it. Nothing but green grass down the middle.
10 for 14 seems a little overpowered for that QB. Did he only throw it 14 times? $10 for 14 for 5 touchdowns. 70% though completion percentage. I mean, he had that 76-yard bomb. They really didn't throw it that much. You're right. That's crazy. What'd they do running wise? Have they only? They haven't even ran the ball. They haven't even had the ball 30 plays. That makes no sense. So he had 10 attempts. He's got 2 broken tackles. I think that's pretty good on 10 attempts. They've only... What? Have we really had the ball this much? I've thrown it 41 times. And I've ran it 14 plus, look at these. So we have 19. How do we have all these plays and they don't have any? I didn't even realize this. Look, there's no rushing in this game. We're 19 for 16, they're 12 of 23. No rushing at all. That's very interesting. I've thrown it 41 times. Let's look at the time of possession. Bro, I had it 3 times as much as them. Well, time of possession might be out of balance. It's not even the time of possession necessarily. It's how the hell I mean, they didn't have a lot of big plays. They had some passing plays. And they did have some short fields because of the interceptions. How many pick sixes do they have? Do they have 2 pick sixes? 1 pick six? But either way, to have 48 points with the ball and run 28 plays. Well, 26 plays. That's wild. What was the scoring summary again? I know they drove down the field right away and scored right here. And then they had the pick 6. And then I tied it up, and then they drove down and scored right here. And they had that big bomb, that 71-yard pass play. Oh, they had 2 of them. That's right, they had that catch and run. And then they had that deep shot. So they had 2 plays, 2 quick strike, 70-plus yard plays. Then they had a return fumble. So 14 points are on defensive scores. That brings them back down to 30 well, if I could think, 34 points. And then you have 2 quick strike plays, which is 14 more points, which would bring them down to 20 points. No, bro, I can't try your sliders, man. I make my sliders for people. I don't try other people's sliders. It kind of defeats the purpose of what I do with my YouTube channel, bro. Like, okay, so all sports, all games, James. If I try your sliders, I mean, what? Like, what am I guess I don't know. What am I supposed to do? If they play good, okay, great. But, like, what am I supposed to do with that?
They try to push this winning streak to 3.
There are country fumbles and there are city fumbles. City fumbles, there's a lot of bodies around it, so you got to jump on it. Country fumbles, a lot of green grass. That was a country fumble.
We're not gonna play the rest of this game. We're not gonna. We don't need to. I'm very interested though in how the defense is allowing these numbers, not the sliders. No, I hear you. I'm just really confused in the running game. I mean, for now, I'm going to put the face mask back up because...
They got to try to hold on to the positives as hard as that.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it was just a weird game. I don't know, because Tony is having no issues
and they've got good schemes on both sides
running the ball.
Things have not gone their way. They just need to make a few more plays to turn this thing around.
Yeah, and they can do it, and they will do it.
And he's got the face mask lower than me, so we'll probably leave it where it's at.
In there believing, this is part of what happens. You got to take a few lumps sometimes.
But the good news is you guys were able to see kind of how penalties impact everything. Yeah, man, the sliders felt great, other than both teams couldn't run the ball very much. But then I got Tony over here in the chat using the exact same setup, and his game, the running is fine. So it could have just been a matchup thing. It's just some of the games are weird or, whatever. They also were taking away all the underneath stuff. So maybe that was like what they were doing game plan wise. You know what I mean? I guess I kind of want to monitor the run. Everything's good. I just want to monitor what's the overall of their halfback and their quarterback. Well, I can tell you right now, my halfback's a 90 overall. So first we'll go here. See, I'm an 83. Well, we have a 90 overall, and we weren't able to run the ball at all. But there weren't any RPOs or wide receiver screens or anything were open either. '81 overall. 74 overall. Yeah, man, those two deep. I mean, he had 140 yards passing on 2 plays. 145 yards passing on 2 plays. Outside of that, he was 8 for like 100. Nothing crazy. How good's my O-line? Well, since we're here, we'll look at theirs real quick first. My O-line, we looked at that. Remember, they're like roughly around 80 overalls. So they have an 85 left tackle, 76 guard, 77, 73. So their line's not very good at all. Their D-line, they have an 80, 76, 76. Their linebackers are good. I think it's easier to just back out and then jump back in and it'll go right to us. So I have my line's pretty much 84, 82, 74, 80, 82. Oh yeah, Rocky, I turned that off the first day, the day the game came out, early release Monday. I was live streaming and pursuit angles were horrible, so I was just like, "Yep, that's the fix for that." Roughing the kicker and running into the kicker, both off. Yeah, but 8 for 12. I mean, that's not 60%. I mean, that's not anything. Let's complete that, you know. Even horrible, like you have to think of like look at in the NFL, the bad quarterbacks will still have decent completion percentages. That's 66%. I was pretty close. That's what the 80-70, Tony. Well, they just didn't have the ball very much in general, man. They didn't even run the ball 30 times, or they didn't even have 30 plays. Yeah, larger sample size, 100%. That's kind of what it is. That's where I'm at. You know, we did have some incomplete passes when we got some pressure and whatnot, but they didn't have the ball that much, you know? And that's what's tough, too, is like you said, it would be 8 for 12 without those two pass plays. But that's a very small. Quarterbacks can start off 10 for 10 and then they'll struggle, or they'll start off 1 for 10 and they turn it around. Like there's like times where they get in, you know, into the groove and they have like little completion streaks and stuff. No, Brian, don't. You can still just have to go into it with a different mind. Number one, don't use the team you really want to use in Dynasty. Don't use them. Pick a team you don't care about, means nothing to you, and you just want to enjoy the gameplay, because the gameplay is very good. And just play through it, get your feet wet on recruiting, the coaching trees, things like that, and just play for 2 seasons. Make the most of that you can. After 2 seasons, start over, start another one. Just get the hang of everything, get the gameplay down, all that fun stuff. Figure out what kind of offense you like to run, what kind of defense you like to run. Hopefully you don't have to do that too often. They'll come out with a fix, and then you're like, okay, now I know this is the team that I want to play with. This is the offense I like to run. This is the defense I like to run. This is how I like to recruit. XYZ, you have it all, you know, check all the boxes, and you're ready to actually get fully immersed in your dynasty. That's how I'm going to treat this. This Fresno State one is testing gameplay sliders. Once I launch those sliders officially, which again, I just need a little bit more feedback on the running. Tony's been giving me some good feedback. I want to get some more feedback from everybody else. I'd like to play a couple more games myself and just check the running. But everything else I think is in a good spot. Once I hear back a little bit more on the running, drop the sliders. Then I'm going to pick a team that I don't care about to start a dynasty with, and that's what I'm going to do. 2 years. Restart. And I have 1 or 2, 3 teams that I actually do really want to run dynasties with that I'm just going to keep in my back pocket until it's fixed. They haven't announced anything if they are Bethlehem, kid. They haven't acknowledged it. I've reached out to, like I said, several people. Bordeaux acknowledged the issue to me on Twitter and messages, but he didn't publicly acknowledge it. I think he can't because of the EA Creator Network. I think a lot of those guys have to publicly not say anything. Again, I don't know that. I'm just speculating because he messaged me acknowledging the issue, sent me some screenshots, of his issues as well, but didn't publicly retweet it, didn't tag any of the guys that I know he knows because he's part of the EA Creator Network. But some of my other people who are part of the, who have contacts at EA, like Smitty and SimFBall Critic and stuff like that, they retweeted it, they talked to it, they reached out to their people to let them know. So we'll see. I mean, there's definitely people trying to help get this resolved and fixed. It's just a matter of, is EA going to acknowledge it and say, hey, we're going to look at it, or are they just going to, talk about online stuff like Scott OG tweeted out today. Who are you using in the college football playoff, which is a head-to-head online thing? It doesn't have anything to do with Dynasty. So, I don't know. I'll feel a lot better about it once they acknowledge that there's an issue and that they're aware of it and that they're going to fix it. I was looking at doing Kent State, Rocky. I really was. I was thinking about it. There's a couple different teams I wanted to do. Like, I really wanted to do Colorado State, but for whatever reason, they didn't include all the jerseys for Colorado State in the game. They didn't even include their alternate green pants that they literally Google Colorado State Rams football jerseys, and it pops up, and they have the green jerseys, green bottoms, white jerseys, white bottoms, white helmet. They have the gold bottoms, and and they have the orange helmets, orange jerseys. They didn't include any of that in the game, and I'm so frustrated. So authentic intent, yeah, you could definitely watch CPU versus CPU for CPU gameplay. However, the way you judge the CPU versus the CPU is completely different than how you judge it versus the user, right? Because you have that user input. And so there's definitely things that you can see and check out. But you also, NC State beat Clemson. Okay, that was a close game. Interesting though. Here it says, look at this. At the bottom it says number 18 Clemson falls. Oh, they must have had their new rankings here then. That's interesting. Okay. But CPU, typically CPU versus CPU, you want to create different sliders for them playing against each other since you don't have that human input. So, Tony, you said that they have 10 rushes for 28 yards. So, Brian, I lived in Colorado Springs for a decade, and I go back there all the time. So I was honestly thinking, man, maybe Air Force. Not for, like, my real one, but just, like, in the meantime. NC State is a really good team, yeah. Tony, you're seeing the running game that you're having right now is with the blocking back to 80-70, right? You're not on the 0-1. And do you feel like the running is worse with it on 80-70 than on 0-1? Or better? From what I tested, is that with it on 80-70. I can definitely hit triangle and view this box score. Where at? Where's it at? How do I view it? Or you mean are you saying you can't do that because they got rid of it? Because I don't know why I can't view. Oh, here you go. You meant I can't view that, but I could view it this way, right? What do you think, Tony, with the offensive line on 80-70 versus 0-1? You've played more games than I have. What are your thoughts? I'll just get your feedback here, and everybody else can do it too. Okay, yeah. Minimum speed player threshold. Yeah, the higher it is, in my opinion, the harder it'll be because there's not that gap. But that could be also a bad thing. So okay, so it really depends on how you look at it, right? With the speed threshold. So yes, it could. There are scenarios where having it raised closes that speed gap, which could make the passing harder. However, let's just go to depth chart real quick here, and we'll just look at the matchup we just had. First, let's go to my wide receivers. 92, 92, 89, 88. Okay, that's the speed. Then if we go over to our corners, 88, 86, 88 for our top three corners, right? Nothing crazy. Then if we go down to all the way down to UNLV, they have faster corners than us, right? So if you, in this scenario, their corners are faster than our, their corners are slower than our wide receivers, right? So in this scenario, because we had two wide receivers that were a little bit faster than 89, 90, whatever, the speed parity being lower would allow you to get more space. And then receivers. I have my 91, 90. So these were all faster than our corners. Our fastest corner was an 88. That would play a big part in how they were getting past us on these deep balls, right? When you, in this scenario, had we increased threshold, right, that reduces the gap, it would have actually made coverage tighter. Lowering it in this scenario made it greater. But if you look at it, you can look at it another way where it would work the opposite, right? Yo, appreciate it, Brian. I really do. I'm glad you're here. If you had corners, so where it hurts you when you do the speed parity, right, is if your corners are faster. If the corners you're playing against are faster than wide receivers, the lower the speed parity means the corners are faster than your wide receivers. So your wide receivers aren't going to be able to get around them on deep balls and stuff like that like they would if it was closer together. So there's two different ways you can look at it there. Yo, Gank 620 6238, welcome, man. Appreciate you joining up. Is there a good idea for defensive pass interference to see more offensive pass interference than D? Bro, I haven't even seen a single offensive pass interference. Fatigue's at 71. I have that just to try to get the rotations to go because I haven't touched running backs. I have it at 87 default, so it was just to help get more rotations since I'm not, that way. Tony, I've not tried 0-1, did 89-84, and now I'm doing 80-70, and the CPU seems to have more of a balance when it comes to run and pass. They were very balanced in this one with run and pass. They just, neither myself or the CPU had any of a run game. For those of you here who were here earlier, I think, testing out and giving some feedback, auto subs, put the offensive line at 0-1, play a half. Play a half. And then quit the game. Do this in Dynasty, because Dynasty plays differently. And then put the auto subs for the offensive line back to 80-70, play a half. And pay attention, because you're not trying to play the game to win the game necessarily, or how you normally would. You're playing to monitor how the gameplay, like how the running is, right? Because maybe there needs to be. When I looked at the auto subs when we tested this earlier, the 80-70 felt better than the 0-1, at least in the practice mode. It looked a lot better too. But then we just had a game where the running wasn't any different. So there might be, an area where we need to look at some other things that could help bump the run up a little bit, like false start or, things like that. Doing 0-1 now. I'm really curious what you'll notice there. Hopefully, you've been running the ball pretty fine though, right, Tony? So I'm really curious what the CPU does. A power, you feel like there's a lot of. So I would agree with you that there are a lot of opportunities to throw the deep ball. One thing that I do like, though, is that just because the wide receiver's open on the deep ball doesn't mean you're going to get a completion, because with the revamped passing, if you put too much air under it, you're overthrowing it. You guys saw that happen to me. I did a play action and I threw a deep ball. He was open, but I had pressure on me. I didn't hold the button down long enough to lower the trajectory, put too much on it, and I overthrew him. So even though there are more opportunities to throw deep balls, like you said, it also requires you to be pretty good with the revamped. And if you get too good at it, just turn the meter off. That'll throw a new wrinkle in the challenge. Rocky, no, man. I'm not touching main menu stuff. The only thing I'm changing in the main menu is the fatigue, the speed parity threshold, and the injuries. That's the only thing that I've changed. I'm just leaving everything else by itself. Auto subs affect CPU. Yes. 100%. They mimic what you have. And Bethlehem, as far as speed threshold, that's how I felt like it too. And also, there's so many teams, and there's typically your top speed talent is going to the top tier teams, and that's what makes them a lot more difficult too, is that they have faster guys in general. And that's how they actually rate the game too. If you go look at, we'll do it here real quick. If you go over to the depth chart of a top team, and we're in F, so we'll just go to we'll go to Miami. They're rated 86 overall, so their wide receivers actually aren't that fast here, which is very interesting. But if we look at their defense, I bet their defense, God, I hope I'm not wrong here. Oh, well, yeah, 92, 91. So you got some speed there. If we go to a more defensive school, Georgia. 93, 98, 95, 93 for the defense. Their corners. Way faster than their wide receivers. I'm curious what the linebackers are like. 80s, 89. Bro, they have a 94 speed linebacker. Holy hell. Raylan Wilson. If there's ever anybody I'd want to try to get via transfer portal, it'd be this dude right here. 94 overall speed. Look at this, 88 overall speed. And you just compare to like other schools. Look at 75 speed. You know what I mean? 86, 86. They give the higher speed is going to go to the top teams. You know what I mean? So that's why I felt like just expand on that speed differential. I'm curious about Ohio State. 91, 91, 94, 87, 83 is there. 91 speed for Sonny Styles. And look at the speed here. 92, 90, 94. Way more speed on these teams. Go to Oregon. They have speed all over the field. You ain't lying. Tez Johnson, 96. Evan Stewart, 95. Let's take a look at their 87 and a 94 sophomore. He'd be... Well, they don't have NAL, but you know what I mean. 91, 92. Yeah, there's Penn State. Look at all the 90s here. Look at those linebacker speeds. So yeah, I feel like the speed is super important in college football, and there's a huge disparity. And so that's why I went speed parity 0. No, you don't do the O-line 89, 84. Holy hell, Tony. No. O-line is 0-1. Yo, Juan, appreciate you for being here, man. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Your freshman quarterback has a 97 speed, Daniel. Is that like someone you recruited, or is he actually in the game? So, for those curious, what we're looking at is the default offensive line sub in sub out is 80-70. Curious, we tested this before the game in practice for both the user and the CPU. We tested this 80-70, and then we dropped it to 0-1. At 80-70, there was more pass rush, but the run blocking seemed to be a lot better. That could have been a fluke. Maybe 80-70 creates more pass rush, which also would impact the run game, and then there would need to be some adjustments made to the penalty sliders to increase the run game a little bit. Well, that's why you get no separation, Rockies, because when you have it on 95, you're trimming all the separation down to nothing. It's doing exactly what it says it's going to do. So with the 0, yeah, but now the pass rush is gone, isn't it? Yeah, the higher you go with the speed parity, the smaller the gap is. So if you have a guy with a 90 overall speed and a guy with an 89 overall speed, when you're at default 50, there's a difference of that 90 to 89. When you raise that up, it becomes microcosmically, I don't know if that's a word, extremely small. So whatever the normal difference would be if you line them up in the game and ran, it gets shrunk the higher you raise that up. When you lower it, whatever that gap would have been at default grows. 0's more wide open, 100%. So Tony, what I'm thinking, exactly like how college football should be, yeah. So Tony, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the 80-70 creates better pass rush, but worse run blocking. When you go 0-1, which is weird because it didn't play like that when we tested it out. When we go 0-1, and we did test this out too. We had a way more time to throw with it on 0-1. When you go back to 0-1, the blocking for the runs isn't as good. But then again, we just ran and we didn't have anything. So the other options is you could go over to the sliders here. And this is where we could look at penalties. This is where I lowered face mask. We could raise that back up, right? To try to help with the running. And then you could also look at, could lower off sides. That'd be the easiest one to do. Could lower off sides. We'll leave that at 45. Leave this right there. And that'll probably get a little bit more of a push. Let's go ahead. Well, I'm not going to play another game, but I will fire up a possession or two just to see what the running game looks like. Great. Another bye week. We just had a bye week. That's the thing, A-Power. That's what's going on with holding. You raise it, you're going to get, it's going to increase your blocking, it's going to improve your blocking, but you are going to get too many holding calls. Exactly. That's why I haven't gone above 55. And even then, I mean, 55 feels pretty good with the calls. I mean, but I wouldn't want to go higher than it. We can test against Washington State. This should be a very even game, too. Perfect. About as even as you can. Let's, again, we're not going to play the whole... We're not going to play the whole game. But I want to look and see what the impact is. Don't they have black jerseys? Nope. We'll rock these, but we're going to rock it with... we're just going to go all navy. How's that? We're going to see if that change of just lowering the defensive offsides without hopefully having too much of an impact on the pass rush impacts the running game.
In this fertile valley and home of the Fresno State Bulldogs, whose team mantra is anytime, any place, any team. It's always going to be even better at home, and these fans are...
Can we shut the home field advantage off? It should be an option to turn it off. Yeah, like because it's loud, quarterback goes blind, and icons disappear. No, you can't shut it off. It's... and I'm glad they don't... The reason they don't have it shut off is because the home field advantage in this game is realistic in the sense, and it's the same for every single team. It's just the intensity changes. The reason they give you the option in Madden is because they throw in a bunch of arcade BS into if you have an advantage, your players fatigue slower or regain stamina faster, or don't fumble the ball as much. It's the home field advantage perks in Madden make absolutely no sense. I've only seen one pass interference, Daniel, and that's why I use the slider for coverage and not for to actually get the call.
These kind of guys are so hard to defend.
You're right. They better be able to find a way to get pressure on him.
So I'm literally going to just try to run the ball a whole bunch. Because we know what happened last week, right? Against UNLV. We know that couldn't run the ball.
Here's the handoff.
And this is a very equally rated team. 80 overall, very similar to us. All we did was drop defensive offsides.
Impose their will on the D-line. They got just enough push there on that run play to pick up the first.
And look how the running game looks now.
Relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. Got 6 on first. Second and 4. It's Arsenault. Turns it up and asks for much more there. A first.
Isn't it crazy how that stuff impacts the gameplay?
Off the play fake on first. Going for it all. And
so there's a deep ball that
Even though that was an incompletion,
he was in great coverage there. Like, I just, I was like, I saw one-on-one coverage, play action, figured we ran it a whole bunch. He's in great coverage, still chucked it up. It wasn't an easy completion there. I'm curious if anybody else was open. Oh, okay, that guy just blitzed on him hard. And then this guy, we had a one-on-one coverage here. No, they were in good coverage all the way around.
the secondary wants to start playing deeper coverages because this offense is showing.
We're gonna keep.
Aggressive. They've got a lot of speed.
You've seen 3 offensive pass interference. That is crazy, dude. Because I haven't seen one.
the give to the back. And he's able to.
All right, so look at what the running game's doing now, man. I don't know if it's a combination of. I mean, we lowered the. We lowered face mask and we did the offsides. That's it. Didn't touch anything else.
Off play action. Makes the grab. It's Arsenault.
But we also got to make sure it doesn't impact.
Drag him down, but not before. They'll
You can do CPU versus CPU Dynasty, bro.
I was starting.
You go to Super Sim. And you go, I think you go slow. What is it here? There should be one where you can, there's a way to do it. Or unless it's different than in Madden. Because in Madden, the way you could do it in franchise, you had to go to Super Sim. Yo, True Hall of Fame builds, bro. I appreciate you. That's the second time you've done that, man. I really appreciate you. For the $5, bro. Really mean it. What's the blocking that we want? The pass rush isn't nerfed too much when we drop that offsides down. On this particular play, look at, they're all stonewalled. They're not getting any pressure whatsoever. Any pushback. We'll keep monitoring it. What are we on here? 1st and 10. So the great way that we're going to monitor this by just going shotgun, spreading them out. And let's see what kind of the rush looks like here.
Looking to go up top on first down.
Okay, there's a rush there.
Rolling to the right, trying to make something happen. Keeps it and gets the first down. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play.
We gotta make sure I wasn't tripping there on the pass rush and how they, because again, we want to make sure that we make that change, and we don't want to break something else. We don't want to fix one thing by breaking something else. So they got pressure just because of they loaded up one side. So that's not a great way to actually test it. What I'm looking for is what we had all last game, where like a defender right here, he's getting pushback. See, right here, he's not pushing that offensive lineman, number 78. He's not pushing him backwards. So that wasn't a good play to really look at it anymore because of we had to roll to the outside.
He's just really fast, and I can't catch him.
Ends up with a first and goal.
A look here. I don't like that.
Dropping back, it's Keene. Just missed his man, gave him just
They seem to be getting stonewalled. We're gonna break down every single pass play here because we fixed running, at least for the user. There's not much. So the over 74 did. How long did we have? 1, 2, 3. Okay, about 3 seconds before. Again, we just got to keep monitoring it.
You want to find the right guy to throw to, obviously. I didn't think he was the right guy. I didn't think he was really that open. And listen, he sailed and he overthrew.
Because pass rush is extremely important. Look at the difference in the run game, though.
You love as a head coach to watch your offense take the field and establish a rhythm and consistency the way they did there. Everything they dialed up was working to perfection. They go 10 plays.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, Bethlehem. And that's what I tried looking at there. You know, I can always go back and recount it. It's just, you know, if they blitz or something like that, or they line up from one side, it kind of impacts, you know, the rush. What I'm trying to look for, I need to look at just like a straight 4 or 5 man rush, and they're just into my offensive line. See how their running game. Who disappeared? I thought you could spectate games in Dynasty via Super Sim, because that's how you have to do it in Madden, right? Madden, in order to watch games in franchise, you have to go into the game, then you have to switch over to Super Sim.
Step up and play while they immediately pointed to these guys right here. They are the key to their respective teams.
Yeah, and they don't always show up in the box score, but these are the guys that are the leaders. These are the guys getting everybody organized and have to play well for their team to succeed.
They give it to him again.
Ooh, what's a flag for? Blocking the back?
Illegal block in the back. The officials offered the
And we didn't have an illegal block in the back that last game.
Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. Back to pass, it's Mateer. Throws for the tight end. Makes a connection. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line.
We can't go in instant replay when they run the hurry up. I hate that.
Trying to find his man on first down. How about that play to get a hand in there?
So the running game definitely looks better for them.
And the incompletion brings up a second down.
You have to put it on slow, then put it on full game. I'm going to try that here in a second. That's what I was thinking, all sports, all games, James. Or I can just call you James. Similar to how you do it in Madden. I can't look at
For the first down, they'll
the
start
pass
at
rush
the 24-yard line.
because in hurry up you can't go to instant replay.
The aerial assault continues.
There's not much push.
Game.
So we
2nd and 1. Washington State has it in the red zone. The give on the inside.
So we impacted the running, but we definitely impacted passing too.
As they try to answer that opener with a touchdown of their own.
No, we're going to check and see.
They'll try to get it in with the run.
Oh, we fumbled. He fumbled it. Let's go. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to check this out right now. We're going to go speed, jump ahead, end of game. Boom. We're watching the game. Soak 'em. Yeah, that's how you have to do it in Madden too.
From the gun, the ground game. You just can't go backwards.
Of course, we set it to do this, and then we get we get a safety on us.
Understanding where they are in the field, they got a chance to put points on the board, and they do.
That's great.
After getting caught for
It's not removed authentic, bro.
ready to kick it off.
We'll watch it a little bit. We'll watch them. We'll let them have a possession for a second.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They can make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute and you've got to lock in.
Give to the back. They can rely on this guy to pick up solid yardage when they need it, and he's out to the 43.
You want behind the quarterback CPU? You don't want to watch it like you would in a real game?
Defense knew exactly where that first down line. Washington State sends out the punt unit.
I believe it did say you could change with a D-pad or something like that.
Hit at the 7, and they can't corral it. It goes into the end zone. It'll come out to the 20.
I'm trying to get out of this, and I don't even know how.
They'll run it from the gun. They knock him down.
There we go. Wait. All right. Let's test the... You cannot change the camera? There are way too many big hits. Yeah, you got to lower the face mask. But that'll improve the run defense. Let's look at the pass blocking.
They're trying to get to it.
I was not going to throw the ball. I wanted to see what the pass rush was like. Let's break it down. We want to see getting pushback. So, when you look at these two defenders right here, they're getting stonewalled. They're not creating any push. The edge rusher uses a move to get inside, right? But then he gets taken up by my running back. But these two defenders up over here, we want to see them getting pushing back. So we can safely say that the run game was improved. I could never play in Broadcast Pro. I wouldn't. Nope. Nope. I couldn't do it. But I respect people who do because I think it looks dope. I play 2K in Broadcast, but you know, the issue with Broadcast is just throwing the ball down the field and seeing stuff because it, you know, yeah. So anyway, so we know that dropping sides back down from improve the run game. If we go, let's just drop this down to like 25. Or let's just go extreme. Let's go 15. 4 seconds is too much. Consistently. It needs to be variable. Yeah, sometimes 4, sometimes 3, sometimes less. You know what I mean? False start's one of those. It doesn't seem to have much of an impact. So the way I look at it is this is where we got to find the balance, right? So we know that with it on 55, 65, there is not much running game. But the pass rush is really, really strong. It feels really good. We know that if we drop this back down, the pass rush is non-existent and the running game is really, really good. So we could maybe drop this back down. And try to find a balance there. Or we could just bump holding. You know what I mean? I would like to look at this first because I do like the holding penalties. I don't think it's OP at 55. I think it's good. And false start doesn't seem to get called very much anyway. I haven't had one called yet, so I think that's what we play around with. Again, we'll just fire up here and we'll play like a possession or two. And we'll verify, I don't care about jerseys. We'll verify two things. We'll verify the running game still is, you know, viable. But the pass rush isn't taken away either. Oh yeah, I appreciate you, Bethlehem. No, that's the information I look at, you know. I prefer the pressure, the consistent, not necessarily pressure, because in the game against UNLV, there were times where I had time to throw. But there was also times where they had that push up the middle or whatever that caused me to have to get rid of the ball quickly, or I was hit as I threw it, or something like that. You know what I mean? I wasn't having that here. Even when I was like, hey, I'm not even going to throw it, I'm just going to sit back here. I had all day. I mean, not really all day, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. Alright, so we're going to test. First thing we're going to test here, running. Is running still going to be good? We know we were just able to run the ball pretty well against them. They ran the ball pretty well against us in that small sample size. It was too effective. So let's see if we can still be effective, but maybe not that effective. Ooh. He came off that block. See what happens when you drop that false start? They get off that block shed. So now the run defense is back up. So this is what I'm starting to think. That the false affects run defense. And the holding, the false start affects more running. Look at that. He just jumps off of it. That was a big hole that he instantly breaks off of, right? I thought that was going to be a big gainer. Let's take a look at the pass rush now.
Back to throw, it's Keene. They're bringing heat. And the pressure
Better?
down goes the quarterback.
And I love playing man coverage on the back.
So they blitzed, but it's still a 5-on-5. Oh no, they had 6. I wasn't throwing the ball. I was literally just waiting to see. But look at the difference here. He sheds that and goes. And here's the other thing I want you to take a look at. This wasn't happening before. when the false start was higher, look at this. So we look at this. This is new with the false start change. Look at how he's driving him back. Before, there wasn't any push. This is with the 80-70. So before, there wasn't any push. Stone. And look, so there's push here. They're driving back. Now the pass rush is back. To an extent. But the running game seems a little bit shy. We'll look see how their possession looks.
Fresno State will have to punt. Number 41 on supposed. Fair catch called for and made.
Let's see how this goes. Remember, they ran the ball very, very, very well too. It was very balanced. Like we were both very successful running the ball.
Your leaders not only have to lead the football team, but they got to step up and make plays on the field, keep everybody calm. These guys typically do a really good job.
Yeah, David, and they also generally
it's a good run.
set the tone for their respective football teams.
And we knew they were going to go crazy. Tried to get in a good formation for it.
They'll ride the hot hand. They make the stop after a gain of 3 to the 31. Washington State going quickly.
I don't like that I couldn't audible out of that nickel 33 mint. Like let me switch to a different formation.
Out of the gun to give to the back.
Ah, so they had that first carry that went. Oh, there I can get out of it. Okay, cool. They had that first carry that they got outside and went.
Wants to pass. Fires to the middle. Field. He's off to the races.
And I can't look at the replay because they're in hurry up.
Love to see the fearlessness of a quarterback to work the middle of the field.
And he's got so much confidence in his own arm talent to be able to get that football there before the defense can break it up.
They'll go to the ground. And excellent vision to find running room there and make a really
Running game doesn't look that bad for them actually.
put a stop to it.
I think throughout the week in practice when they were
Couple big plays, couple not big plays.
I don't even know if they envisioned it going as well as it has. This has been beautiful. Nice balance, really nice rhythm. It feels like everything they're dialing up here on their first drive of the game is working to perfection.
Washington State will come to the line with a first and goal. To the air, it's Mateer.
Not getting any pass rush though.
Can the D deny them on
I mean, I'd like to get more of a pass rush.
on the move. And he'll glide his
Let's
way
take
to
another
the
look.
score.
We're going to take one more offensive possession and look at our running game.
Backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, no problem.
When you start in the black zone inside your own 20 coming out, it's difficult. You can give up a safety. You get worried about that. The offense puts a great drive together. Great job executing. Great job getting touchdowns.
I'm actually okay with how their running game
Punching it in for the touchdown.
played out right there. Again, I would like to see our running game
Side is 10. Couldn't
be able to
find
replicate that success maybe this drive.
He stopped at the 25. Fresno State takes over and the offense will go back
But
to work.
there wasn't much of a pass rush.
Last time they'd like to keep him on the sidelines in this drive.
Yeah, it's not something you want to say very often. You don't want the punter.
Ooh,
This offense needs to get back lathered up and get a little bit more of a rhythm.
Best way to do that, identify where your best players are and just get them the football. Give these guys some touches to kickstart this offense.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will.
just nothing.
Not a lot of room, but
But like I said, I lowered face mask all the way down to 15. You won't really see a lot of broken tackles anymore. Yep, we talked about that before you got on here, Bethlehem.
From the gun, wants to pass. He tries to take the top off. And that one's in.
It'll also affect the running game though too. I wanna go in here and look. So I should keep in mind that with the dropping of the face mask, it's gonna massively make running a lot harder. So if you guys, we'll let them play the ball one more time, just so you guys can see the difference in the hits with face mask way lower.
The only thing that could have been better is that thing tipped to another defender, and it was an interception, but great coverage by the defense.
And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stops.
All right, one more defensive possession.
And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense on their heels,
You can definitely see a difference in the tackling.
a little bit of rhythm, it's really hard to stop Jesse, and they're going to try to do it again right here.
And if you're this play caller, you're loving what's happening right now because everything you dialed up on that last drive ended up working out. You're just looking at your play sheet. Everything you're picking is working. Let's see if they can pull it off again here.
And the Cougars want to crank the tempo.
And the thing, Bethlehem too, is if we change the holding to improve run blocking. And right now, shrugged him off. Right now, what happened is we messed with the run block, and then it impacted pass rush. Like pass rush was so much better when we had the offsides up to 55.
Out of the gun, the inside give. There to stop.
Are you guys seeing a difference in the tackling though?
3rd and short from the 22. Is the field goal unit getting ready, or is this already 4-down territory? Looking to throw, it's Mateer. Throws to the tight end.
But we're not getting pressure. So we're gonna, like I said, we're not getting any pressure to affect these throws. Look at my guys. We blitz, and we got nothing. So that's where it's like the balance got offset. We can go back here. And this is how it's done, y'all. And that's why I'm trying to show you guys the impact that penalty sliders have. So when this was at 55, the pass rush was really strong. It felt really good. But the running game took a hit. And then, obviously, that we'd want to move that back up. The lower the face mask, obviously, the better the tackling, but it also impacts the running. So we could just put this back to 45. And then so this was at 65, right? And so we did this is where we had it. We could go down here. We don't necessarily even need to be in increments of 5. When we could drop holding like 1, you know. I'm just trying to this is where it gets challenging. This is where you spend a lot of time trying to find balance, like with the run game. So we moved when we had it like this. Boom, run game was crazy. Coach Guns, no angles is the roughing these two. Face mask has to do with how aggressive they are in making tackles, which leads to less broken tackles. You raise face mask up, you're going to see bigger tackles, bigger hits, more broken tackles. You lower it, less bigger tackles, less bigger hits, less broken tackles. So when we had it like this, right, running game was OP, but pass just disappeared. Like going from here, changed a strong pass rush and a tough running game to a strong running game and a non-existent pass rush. And so you'd almost want to have this here and maybe do something like that. And then I don't know about face mask. I like the idea of going lower. And reduce some of the over-the-top big hits, which definitely, again, impacts, other things. And that's where you could also play around with, okay, we were at 65, didn't get much. What if we did like that, just jacked it up. Because we know we had this at 65, there wasn't a single false start call. No, I haven't had offsides up above 55, so that's where you could play around with it. You don't want to play around with too many things at once, so even though I'd like to lower face mask, what helps with defenders' angles? Turning off roughing the passer and roughing the kicker. So I'm curious what this would look like, going this high. Yes, we're keeping the same gap, but I'm curious. And then depending on how that goes, I would really like to lower face mask and just lower. I'd really like to get this down to 40 or 35, just to lower some of the over the top hits and broken tackles. No, not at all. Because you want to have that disparity. That's the reason we're testing against two pretty even teams. But the fact of the matter is when you can load up a slider set and say, okay, running's this way, like we did. We left it like this, and we're going to go back in and check it out. Running is tough. So when we played earlier, pass rush was great. Running was tough. Made that one change to the offside slider. Running became extremely strong. And all of a sudden you could see in instant replay where the defenders were able to drive back and push the offensive lineman back into the pocket. That stopped happening. They were just getting stonewalled. Sorry. I don't got much time left, man. I got to run to the fair, y'all. We got about 30 minutes left to figure this out. So that's where we want to make that change. We don't want to have it where that pass rush is they're just sitting there and they're just can't move. The defenders should be pushing the offensive lineman back. Straight up. So the first thing we'll test is we'll look at running. And again, it takes a little bit longer to do running, and obviously they could have a good a good play where they defend it and all that stuff. Yo, Venom, what's up, man? So pass rush is easier to test in this sense, because you're just looking. You're literally just looking at. It's not necessarily even pressure per se, because you could get rid of the ball quickly. But you're looking for run north south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. That's a play that I want here. You're looking for them to just have some push in the offensive line. 65 and 70 are amazing. Is that what you're using, or did you just fire it up right now?
He wants to throw. Fires to the wide.
That's not
That pass is intercepted.
okay.
Takes it the other way.
I thought he was just chilling in the flat.
Touchdown, Washington State. And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return.
I hear you on the sliders thing, but they do it because of all the different skill levels that are trying to play the game in an offline experience. So, yeah, I totally hear you, but that's kind of That's kind of why. Now, Maximum Football doesn't have difficulty levels and doesn't have sliders. It's just the game is how it is, and you play with who you play with, and that's how it goes. But because a lot of kids play Madden, I mean, again, Maximum's being made for more simulation, hardcore kind of people. Madden is trying to cater to casuals, kids, and a hardcore crowd, and it's a really tough thing to do.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that.
So because I threw an interception there, I thought he was just chilling in the flat.
Put it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
Hold on one second, Venom. I thought he was chilling in the flat, and then
Getting some heat. Gonna try to get
I think again, I'm testing the pressure. I'm not necessarily trying to throw. Let's take a look. I probably don't get sacked if I don't take off there. I had 17 wide open. The higher you go, the more aggressive, Venom. What we want is, again, you don't have to have pressure every single play. What you want is there to be push from the defensive line in. You don't want to have it be where they're just there and not moving the offensive linemen. They need to be moving the offensive linemen. Alright, I should probably try to pick up this first down and do some more testing. It's hard to test it. Oh, we need to see what they look like as well.
It's so hard to get these guys on the ground because they're elusive. Really good job wrapping them up and getting to the ground.
No, I thought he was blocking him to the outside, and then he releases him. So dumb. Thought I had the inside. Anyway, we can check out and see how the CPU looks on offense here.
The Cougars offense will try to get something started with their first possession. As we take a look at our impact players for this one, what are you looking for, Jesse, for a guy to make an impact?
Well, these are simply put the leaders of this football team, and generally games go how these guys play. If they make plays, then they've got a shot to win this one.
No doubt, they got to show up. These are the team leaders. These guys have to play well if they're going to win the football.
Washington State lines up quickly. On second down, just keeps firing. The short hand, it's Hudson. He will step out.
It's so, you guys really have to watch this for me because I can't go into instant replay when they run hurry up. For whatever reason, they thought that was too much.
Use the play fake, now to throw. Time to take a shot. Oh, he dropped it, and what a...
So I'll tell you this much, though. I was this edge defender, number 5 right here. I couldn't do a thing. I got stonewalled. But they did go max protect, it looked like, because we got 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I couldn't do a thing. They went max protect, and he chucked it deep. So that's not a really good play to,
early in this football game.
you know.
Here comes the offense on second down.
Hey, listen, the quarterback didn't get the
It'd be nice, although Play Now plays differently than Dynasty, so there we got some pressure. Wasn't from me, but
The pocket broke down, and the quarterback had to take the sack.
really impressed by this.
we might have found our balance, y'all.
Guys winning their individual battles one-on-one up front. They're able to get to the quarterback.
On third and long, doesn't need to take the check down. They'll run the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the...
All right, I'm going to do one more possession each, and then I got to run. It's got to go out there, you know, check it out.
But this defense was swarming to keep
To find that balance. I feel like a lot of things are really strong, but finding the run and pass rush balance is always a little tricky.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. To the air. It's Keane. Feeling some heat.
Oh my, bro, I had 2 option routes.
11-yard.
Look at this. 2 option routes. And neither of them did anything. So you're telling me you have an option route and you're sitting there doing nothing. He has an option route to go inside towards this ref where it's wide open. He sits there and does nothing. And those are my 2 reads. Let's look at the pressure, though. I like it. I like that.
Just a great job defensively, making him go through his progressions, and he really didn't have time to do it.
And that's exactly what you do in zone coverage. You drop in your spots, you read the quarterback's eyes, make sure you take away that quick stuff, and a great job rushing the passer.
I hate when they have option routes and they don't.
He's got, might as well be a sledgehammer. He's got it out to the 16.
And the guys just sit there and don't do it. They don't take a route to go either way. They just kind of sit there.
A lot of different situations that time. Perfect coverage and nice job bringing the big guy down. Not easy to do.
Oh, we definitely found the pass rush. What happened there? Cool. Got good pass rush.
The defense was in the dime package. They didn't
We'll get one more look at them.
The big fellas up front took
And then I got to run.
And all God means is I'm putting an extra fast guy on the field and taking an extra fat guy off the field. But listen, the fat guys still get home. Isn't that beautiful? The big
did the Madden 25 field player beta feel better than NCAA Football 25? It felt really good. It's different, right? Because the game is designed to be different. With the pro game versus the college game. But it felt really good. I don't like Boom Tech. Strictly because it's only one-on-one tackles. They don't have the technology in there for multi. This is a glitch.
What a disastrous play. And the defense snatches it, and they're trying to flip the field. Touchdown.
Boom Tech is solo one-on-one. So you don't get to, oh my God. Bethlehem Kid, thank you so much for the 20. Holy crap. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. That is fantastic, man. You just made my day, for real. But Boom Tech is just strictly one-on-one. And so there's a lot of times where you'd have like multiple defenders, and it would only trigger the animation for one of them because they don't have it in there for gang tackles or, 2-and-1s and stuff like that. So I definitely think there's potential with Boom Tech, but it probably won't be till next year when they actually get it where it's 2 defenders on one, or gang tackles, or whatever the case may be. So I didn't like Boom Tech just because of that, but there was a lot to like. The fact that they finally fixed penalties, and
Washington State has it back, and they'll send the offense onto the field.
Shit. Are you in the Discord, or do you follow me on X?
From the shotgun, the inside give.
Oh my God, go. I love it. I think we might have our balance, guys. So I was able to run the ball. Now they've proven they can run the ball. There's definitely pass rush.
Dropping back, it's Mateer.
Yeah, Venom. Now what you're watching here is different than what I posted on the members page on YouTube yesterday. There's some updates to it. Ooh, can I please replay this? Bro, we had such good pressure there and hit him right as he was throwing it. No worry, Bethlehem. Do you have a Discord or an X that you can DM me? Video, you click the join button, but if you're on Apple, you can't do it. You have to do it from Safari. For whatever reason, Apple doesn't allow Nice. I love seeing that from the CPU. Well, I'm going to do one more possession. Yeah, from on any of my videos, there's a join button. You just click that. If you're on iPhone, you have to do it from Safari. Cannot do it from the app. You have an X? Yeah, DM me, bro. It's Simgamingnetwork on X. Just DM me. I'll get you everything over. I'll send everything over to you. I mean, you literally just super chatted me like 7 months of a membership, so I'll definitely hook you up, man. But again, I'm gonna update this. In my experience right now, again, very, very short, almost 8 minutes of gameplay. This feels the balance like we were looking for. But I'm gonna want to get some more feedback on it before I post it as official. And so if I can get this out, get some people testing it, giving me some feedback on the pass rush, the running game, then I can post it. Ooh! There goes my let's run the ball this possession idea.
Run the ball on first down, guys, but just nothing doing up front. Their offensive line got blown.
Then I can get it out. Because I'm literally wanting to. I'm ready to roll. I don't want to release something that has the imbalance that was there with the running game. You did 70 and 75? Okay. Yeah, I'm on 60-75 right now. We'll see. Alright. That was good. Alright, let's see if I can get a decent... Let's run the ball a little bit here.
Fresno State back to work with a fresh set of downs. Leaves it with the back.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job on the
So we have 4 for 11. We had that big carry to start the game and haven't had much since. We'll run it again here after the quarter break.
That's the end of the quarter, and Washington State has the lead. And we've come to the end of the first as we take a moment to check out the stats so far.
We have 2 yards per play? Okay. I feel like that information's wrong.
Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the second quarter. We'll start the quarter offense about to snap it on second down.
Alright. See how running looks here. Tough. But their running's good. So that's where I'm thinking, yo, Savage78, welcome. Welcome to SGN, man. Appreciate you. Their running's good. So that makes me think it's more of a... I couldn't find anybody open there. It's more of a me issue, not a anything else issue. Did I miss anything? Did I miss someone open? They blitzed here. Was not expecting that. Oh, I had him over the middle. But by the time he looks... See, he doesn't look open here. I mean, you're not throwing this here. And then I'm getting wrapped up. That's the thing. These guys are going to be open if the pass rush doesn't get home. But the pass rush got home. Quarter, check some stuff out. Abba 239, thank you for joining. Welcome to SGN Elite, man. Appreciate you. I'm going to, like I said, I got to run to the state fair. Doing some stuff there. Last day of it, checking it out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick update for YouTube members of what's going on. Bethlehem, if you message me on X, I'll get it over to you. I think we're really close, you guys. Like, again, I just want a couple more people to test this out. I'm looking for feedback on two things. Running game. It needs to be viable. Like, needs to be able to run the ball. Both user and CPU. I'm pretty sure with where we have it, the pass rush is definitely there. Now we're just looking at making sure the running game is strong enough to make it a viable option. Don't want to have any more scenarios where it's like, 10 yards, which is what has been happening a little too frequently. So, anyways, guys, stream there. Disconnected. I think that was a light stream to YouTube for whatever reason because I'm Twitch the whole time. So, gonna go ahead, post this on the YouTube members page, and as long as we get some good feedback, we'll verify how I'm feeling right now. I should be able to drop these sliders tomorrow as long as people are able to test them tonight and give me that feedback. So hopefully we can get that feedback rolling, and then I can get these out to you guys because I know everyone wants to play. I just want to make sure I bring you guys something good. I don't want to drop something and be like, oh, now we need to change this, now we need to change that, now we change that. I feel like that reduces your credibility and, ruins your reputation for dropping sliders. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for those who donated. Bethlehem again 20. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And True Hall of Fame Builds, thank you again for another donation. That was fantastic. And then thank you those who joined, followed me, clicked the subscribe button, and joined up during the stream. I really appreciate all of you. We'll be back. Should be able to stream tomorrow as well. And hopefully we're streaming like a final set and I can put that video out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Hope you guys appreciated all the info with the auto subs and breaking down how they impact gameplay, showing how the penalty sliders impact gameplay, and showing you how you can really build this game and manipulate things without having to adjust the sliders. So do that with that information as you will. But otherwise, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Appreciate all of you.